Welcome to the archives. This edition of Gambling History and True Stories is brought to you by Our Casino Combat Podcast. Copyright 2025, Volcanic Dingo, LLC. All rights reserved.
All right, let's just jump right in. I've got a question for you. Could you, right now, throw a walnut clean over a hotel? Sounds crazy, right? Absolutely impossible. Well, there was a guy who could. His name? Titanic Thompson. So today, we're going to peel back the layers on the genius of, well, one of the greatest hustlers in history. We're looking at the architect of the proposition and the lessons we can all learn from Titanic Thompson. All right, first up, let's get to know the man himself. Section 1, the man who never lost. You might actually know this guy already and not even realize it. Alvin Titanic Thompson. He was the real-life inspiration for that super-smooth gambler, Sky Masterson from the classic Guys and Dolls. But the real guy, he was way more calculating. See, his whole reputation was built on pulling off these seemingly impossible feats. But here's the kicker. None of it was luck. Not a single win. They were all engineered. So how did he do it? I mean, really, let's take that walnut bet. How do you throw a walnut over a hotel? Easy. You hollow it out and fill it with lead first. Suddenly it has the weight it needs. And driving a golf ball 500 yards? I mean, even the top pros today would have a hard time with that. Well, he just waited for winter and drove it across a frozen lake. The ice did all the work. See, it's not chance. It's absolute genius.
And that right there, that perfectly sums up his whole philosophy. It's like this. Most people bet on what they see, while the operator bets on what they know. He wasn't betting on the spectacle, he was betting on the hidden secret.
And that secret, that hidden knowledge, was all wrapped up in his signature tool. Which brings us to Section 2, the architect's proposition.
So what in the world is a proposition bet? You've probably heard the term prop bet. Well, it's basically a wager where one person, the proposer, gets to set all the terms. You're not playing a normal game like poker or blackjack. Nope. You're inventing a whole new game from scratch, a game you've already rigged to win. And just look at the power shift here. It's incredible. In a standard casino game, you're just a participant. You're playing by the house's rules against a small, fixed house edge. But with Titanic's proposition bet, you're not a participant, you are the architect. And your edge? Well, it's basically infinite. Because you're not just playing the game, you're the one who designed it. That kind of control, well, it creates what you can only call one thing, an unfair advantage. And that's exactly what we're talking about in Section 3. See, Thompson was an expert at exploiting the gaps in what people thought they knew. And one of his absolute favorite tools came straight from the world of mathematics. It's called the birthday paradox, and he loved it for one simple reason. Our gut feeling, our intuition about it, is almost always dead wrong. Picture this. He'd walk into a bar, see about 30 people, and make a bet. He'd wager that at least 2 people in that room shared the exact same birthday. Now, what would you think the odds are? Most people guess it's super low, right? Maybe 8%? That's what our gut tells us. But the mathematical reality is a whopping 70% chance he wasn't gambling. He was betting on a near certainty that looked like a long shot to everybody else. But get this, he even took it a step further. It's one thing to exploit probability. It's another thing to just remove it completely. By messing with the physics of the situation, like putting lead in the walnut, he took chance right out of the equation. The only thing left was whether he could execute the throw. That was it. Okay, so having an unbeatable bet is great. It's half the battle. But you still have to find someone to take the other side, right? And that brings us to Section 4, the art of the mark. Thompson wasn't just a hustler. He was a master psychologist. He had this whole softening technique, a 3-step playbook. First, he'd intentionally lose a couple of small, easy bets. Just throw them. Step 2, let the other guy's ego inflate. Let him think he's the smartest guy in the room. And then, once the mark was completely full of himself, convinced he had Thompson's number, that's when he'd spring the trap, the big, high-stakes proposition. And this is what's just so brilliant about it. His method was so effective. He didn't just take their money, he got them to a place where they were practically begging him to take it. They were so sure they had the advantage, so eager to make the very bet that was designed to clean them out.
So, what does all this add up to? What's the big lesson we can pull from this? It's all about a massive shift in mindset. And that's our final section, becoming the house.
Honestly, this next quote is the key to this entire explainer. It's everything. If you are playing a game where the rules are set by someone else, you are a customer. If you set the rules, you are the house. Thompson got this on a deeper level than anyone. He knew that if you're playing their game, your only job is to pay up. But if you're the one making the game, you're the one who gets paid.
So here's the lesson from the operator's playbook. You have to move the game to your home turf, to an environment you control. You have to be the one controlling the variables. It's all about making that critical shift from just being a player in the game to being the architect of the game itself.
And so, I'll leave you with this one question to think about. A final provocative thought. Just look around at your own world, your job, your relationships, any negotiation you're in, and ask yourself one simple question. Who's controlling the variables?
So, that's our deep dive into the mind of a master operator. Just remember, this explainer is really for entertainment purposes only.
And one last thing, and this is really important. If you or anyone you know might have a gambling problem and want some help, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Thanks so much for watching.